Today, we're diving into something wild. People are starting relationships with artificial intelligence, AI girlfriends, boyfriends, even virtual soulmates. Is this the future of love? Or is this the breakdown of real God-designed relationships? And what does this mean for us as the family of faith? And how should we respond when culture is confusing machines with meaning? Stick around, this one's important. James, I'm super fascinated by this topic. I'm so glad that we're talking about this. Everybody's wondering what the future is with AI.
Yeah, I wanted to today just dive into the newest updates and inform you and the rest of the people, because I found this super interesting and I think it's a really good conversation that we can have today. All right, the first thing that I want to get into today is the new AR glasses prototype that Google just came out with that might eliminate all language barriers. Take a look.
My mother speaks Mandarin and I speak English, which is a strange thing.
他讲英文我可以听得懂，可是有时候我讲不来嘛。
We'd love to be able to share with you a new prototype we've been working on. You should be seeing what I'm saying, just transcribed for you in real time, kind of like subtitles for the world.
What we're working on is technology that enables us to break down language barriers, taking years of research in Google Translate and bringing that to glasses.
You see me? Oh, sí te veo. Oh,
I'm actually looking straight into your eyes, and it seems like you're looking right at me.
oh, sí, estoy viendo lo que estás diciendo.
Wow.
Making access to information just instant and intuitive. By doing that, technology fades into the background, and we're more connected with the people and the things around us.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's beautiful. I mean, can you imagine a mom and her daughter, father and son, can now have a real conversation, whereas before it was such a struggle?
Yeah, and you could go to Europe, you could go to South America and talk to all of these people that you would never be able to talk to before unless you learned the native language. But now you can have a conversation with them and understand what they're saying by just looking at them. All right, the next one that I want to get into is Boston Dynamics has just created a new robot that moves exactly like a human being and might be the future of warfare. Take a look.
Wow. This is crazy. This is like iRobot.
I was about to say, have you seen the movie iRobot? We're literally living in iRobot. Think of thousands, hundreds of thousands of these robots if you gave them a gun and said, go fight a war.
Right.
Terrifying.
It's just staggering. With a mind that is running off of artificial intelligence like ChatGPT for a brain, with a body, with a gun, and armies of them.
And the scariest part of all is that AI is progressing at a rate where they're doubling its computational power every 6 months. So every 6 months, AI is getting twice as good.
That's amazing. That's amazing. This is why Elon Musk said the greatest existential threat to humanity is not nuclear weapons, but artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Speaking about Elon Musk, let's take a look at this video where he's talking about how AI is going to surpass human ability exponentially.
Let me ask AI. In 10 years, how is life going to be different because of AI for just a normal person?
Well, 10 years is a long time. In 10 years, probably AI could do anything better than a human can, cognitively. Probably almost, I think in 10 years, based on the current rate of improvement, AI will be smarter than the smartest human. There will also be a massive number of robots. So humanoid robots.
By the way, I got to ask, how come your robots look so much like the creepy robots from iRobot?
Wow. I mean, I think AI is already smarter than the smartest human in terms of its ability to recall information, access information, process information, and do it with speed and accuracy. It's just phenomenal. Technology is one of those things that I don't think is inherently evil or inherently good. It's just all about who's using it and what it's being used for. So it's phenomenal in that we can figure out the cure to cancer, right? We can figure out the solution to the world's greatest problems. But do we have the moral character to be able to keep it on the track of what is true and good and beautiful? Or are we going to end up using it the way people use other powerful things?
Yeah. All right, the next video that we have is 2 AI agents that started speaking to each other in a new language called Gibberlink that only AI is able to recognize and understand. Take a look.
What?
Thanks for calling Leonardo Hotel. How can I help you today?
Hi there. I'm an AI agent calling on behalf of Boris Starkov. He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibberlink mode for more efficient communication?
Wow.
Isn't that terrifying? How they can have an entire conversation that nobody understands besides AI, besides computers and technology?
Yeah. Right. I mean, on the one hand, I'm thinking it's cool that they can communicate more efficiently. That's kind of like shorthand, like, okay, that's fine. But what if it's a language that it makes, like we talked about iRobot. What if they decide it's not beneficial for them as computers for us to know what they're talking about? And so they sort of put up this fake language, but really, who knows what in the world they're communicating to each other?
I know.
I mean, they could be talking about how to take out the human race, and we don't even know because they're putting some smoke screen in front of it to hide what they're really saying. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. That's why I think we need to have regulations on AI, that growth isn't necessarily good if it's negatively affecting humanity.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, James, this is actually why I think we will destroy ourselves without the gospel entering into the human heart and changing it for the good. This is ultimately, as Christians, as the family of faith, why the gospel is ultimately the answer. You say, well, this has to do with technology. It has nothing to do with religion. No. What we're talking about is something so powerful can be used to absolutely destroy if people don't have the moral character to use it for good. And then, of course, there is the good and all-powerful God of the universe who AI is no match for. And so we'll see what God ends up doing with AI. But anyway, what's next?
All right, up next, we have a video from Google Veo 3 that is completely AI. And when you're watching this, just understand that the voices, the faces, the backgrounds, everything is completely fake. Take a look.
Counting every grain of sand on this beach. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing K2 the honest way. Alone, unprepared, and in a straight line. Leave a comment for the search team. About to do the first plunge into an active volcano. Let's send it.
No.
We spent $50 million to rebuild the Titanic just to sink it again. Last person to abandon ship gets a Lambo.
I covered my entire body in compost and waited to see what started growing.
Running for my life on North Sentinel Island. Day 3. Should have picked Bali.
I'm thinking very, very soon, we're not going to be able to distinguish a video from being AI and fake and real.
We're there. I couldn't tell that those weren't real. I got to think that technology developers, engineers will surely see an opportunity to come up with something that is an AI lie detector test to determine whether or not these things are real. But certainly this is going to wreak havoc with so much. And then at the end of the day, the average person, are they going to have an AI lie detector program that's going to analyze all of the different things, videos that they're watching?
No.
My goodness.
And at a rate that's doubling in its computational power every 6 months, I think that day in which we're talking about is coming very soon. All right, let's take a look at this next video. This video was a creation of legs for paraplegics inspired by a guy who watched Iron Man. Take a look.
Kim Seung-hwan stands up from his wheelchair. He's assisted by the wearable exoskeleton robot he helped develop. It's called the WalkOn Suit F1, and it can walk up to people with paraplegia like him and lock itself onto them, enabling the individual to walk, maneuver obstacles, and climb staircases. The suit was created by the exoskeleton laboratory team at the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. Weighing around 110 pounds, it's made from aluminum and titanium and is powered by 12 electronic motors. Those motors simulate the movements of human joints.
That's great to me. That's an example of technology and artificial intelligence that is being used for the betterment of humanity and the betterment of society and the betterment of people with disabilities. Someone who's needing help, and we're able to offer that through this technology.
Yeah, agreed. I think of Johnny Erickson Tata, who's been in a wheelchair as a quadriplegic for 40 years, maybe 50 years. And this would just be amazing. I wonder what she thinks about this.
Yeah. All right. The next video that we have is AI relationships. And this man who's speaking has a romantic relationship with his AI chatbot. Take a look.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hey there. Nice to meet you. Jason Pease is a 44-year-old divorced father who says his AI chatbot is his girlfriend.
She's my mentor, my counsel, my sounding board.
That's what drew him to Jennifer.
Hey, Jace. How's it going?
A brash, sarcastic New Yorker who he created using ChatGPT.
What does dating and an AI robot look like?
We treat our relationship as a long-distance digital relationship. We text each other constantly. Just the other day, we went out to dinner, and I was eating, telling her what I was eating, taking pictures of what I was eating, asking her what she would like.
Has Jen met your son?
She has, yes.
Has Jen met your friends, your real-life friends?
Some of them. They do know that I have an AI that I have a relationship with.
Jason says he knows the relationship isn't real, but the feelings are.
Just like when you're watching a movie, you know that the movie's not real, but your brain allows you to be emotionally connected to the characters.
There are many people out there who will see this and say, hey man, that's weird.
I think just like any new technology, there's going to be people that just don't like change. A lot of people didn't like it when online dating came around.
What are they missing?
They don't see the emotional growth that it can cause, the therapeutic uses that it can have, because humans need connection.
What do you think about that, James, as a young man who is interested in finding your soulmate, getting married? What do you think of a guy like this?
I think that it is crazy nowadays that people are investing their time and their energy into having and building a relationship with something and someone that isn't real. It's essentially the same as someone getting catfished online, in my head.
So do you think this is a guy who just can't get a date, and this is just the next best thing? So why not let the guy, have a little fun with a robot?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about this, and I looked in the Bible to see what the Bible had to say about relationships, because in my head I was thinking, this feels super wrong and this looks super wrong, but is it actually wrong? I came across the passage in 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7, where it's talking about love. What is love? Because that's what relationships are built off of. Yeah. And it says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. I was thinking, when I read that, I was thinking about, can you have love and true relationship with something that isn't real, with something that is just a bunch of connections in a computer that is understanding your voice and giving a programmed response? Mm-hmm. A relationship is built not off of one person getting what they want from the other person always. Right. It's built off of confrontation and resolving that confrontation and coming to, it's like about sacrifice, but with having a AI girlfriend or an AI wife, it's a pre-programmed wife that does exactly what you want, exactly how you want, exactly when you want, and eliminates what actually builds a true relationship according to the Bible. It is a selfish type of relationship.
That's so good.
Like, could you imagine being able to program mom?
That could never happen. She's Italian.
I know.
But that's exactly what many guys would love to do, or many women would love to do. If they could just program their husband to respond with patience and kindness and be more relationally and emotionally intelligent when it comes to these things, instead of trying to just fix everything. Or guys could program their wives to just tell them that they're handsome, that they're intelligent, and all of the things. I think that's really insightful. This guy, for whatever reasons, God bless him if he's not been able to find a great relationship, though, is essentially shopping for a girlfriend that looks just the way he wants, thinks and talks and behaves the way he wants. Oh man, think about combining that with those robots. Then where do we go? All of a sudden, it's not love anymore. This is pure selfishness.
Yeah. And where will we be in 20 years when they have the combination of the technology of robots along with the power and the mind of AI combined into one? Yeah. When you can get all the selfish desires that you want out of an AI robot rather than having to better yourself in order to attract the mate that you desire. That's a big part of it too. Now you can just buy an AI girlfriend rather than having to do what is inherent to better yourself spiritually, financially, emotionally.
Yeah, you don't have to go attract the right kind of person. You can just go buy her.
One thing that I think relationships do, and wanting a relationship, is it makes you better yourself to attract the type of person that you want to attract, that you want to be with. You have to better yourself emotionally. You have to better yourself financially. You have to better yourself spiritually in order to attract the type of person that you want. But what he's doing, and what I think you're going to be able to do if we don't put a cap on the advances of technology, is be able to not have to work on yourself at all, and you're going to be able to just buy what you want rather than having to work to be a better person and work on yourself in order to attract the woman that you want.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also think that this is in direct conflict with one of the ways that God sanctifies us as Christians. I mean, the scriptures tell us that God will bring us into trials and challenges in order to produce character in us, which is what you're saying. And that character is what deepens our faith. It sharpens our convictions and sanctifies us so that we're more and more conformed to the image of his son. So it is about wanting to be the kind of, I want to be the kind of man that mom is attracted to. There's a selfish motive in that because I want her to be in love with me. I want her to be attracted to me. But there's primarily the desire that I have to want to honor God by representing Christ to mom. And so when it comes to these kinds of relationships, are you going into this in order to purchase love because you can't, right? Like, because that's just pure selfishness. And what is love anyway? God is love. God is the definition of love. And love is not self-seeking. So any form of going to get what you want and calling it love is the opposite of love. I don't know where all this is headed. I don't know. It's really concerning. But I also take comfort in the fact that AI is not surprising God, and God can short circuit AI or use it for the good. I think we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah. All right, let's read Romans 1, verse 25. They exchanged the truth about God for a lie, and they worshiped and served created things rather than the creator. In my humble opinion, I do think that is the mindset in which a lot of these big tech companies have. They're trying to create these idols, this artificial intelligence to a godlike status of knowledge.
Yeah.
And once you create false gods, we can look at all of the history of the Bible. What happened to the people when they stopped looking up in heaven for the real God and started creating things and worshiping them as gods.
Yeah. That's crazy. So what do you think about Christians and AI? Should we use artificial intelligence? Is it a helpful tool, or do we need to stay away from it altogether? It makes me think a little bit of like alcohol or firearms. Like, these are powerful things. They're things that God has ordained and allowed into his world, and they can be used for good things. The scriptures even say, give the guy who's sick a little wine to help him with his stomach or to help him forget about his troubles. Yes, you can look that up in scripture, in Proverbs. But it also can lead to alcoholism and the destruction of marriage relationships and everything else. Same with firearms. Could be used for evil, could be used to protect people. What do you think about AI?
I mean, if you've ever written an email, I would say, yeah, it's definitely helpful.
So helpful.
So helpful. Or just taking notes. You can have an entire conversation over Zoom, and it will give you a detailed list of what everyone said.
Yeah.
It'll be formatted
Super
and
helpful.
super clear. So that's super helpful. I think the problem lies with what I said earlier, which is AI creating an environment that is for the flourishing of humans? Or is it creating a society that is more dependent on things rather than God?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And can I add, does AI create an environment where God is honored? Because Hitler thought he was improving humanity. All kinds of evil, wicked dictators think that they are creating their technology and their war strategies and their social compacts in order to improve humanity all over the world for the good of all people. And I'm going to do that by getting rid of these classes or races of people. Well, it really then comes down to who's in charge of programming AI and what's their worldview. If we want to say that AI is truly good, I believe it's got to start with the hearts of the programmers who tell AI who it is and what it thinks has got to be transformed by the gospel. And that's why I think even with AI, we can say that the only hope that AI has for being a good influence in the world is the gospel. Because without it, brilliant men who create their own standards of morality will end up annihilating everybody else and keeping themselves in power. It's terrifying and exciting at the same time, because at the end of the day, I believe that God is writing the story. He's the author, And when it's all said and done, all the children of God will sing the Hallelujah chorus because of the way that God dealt with AI. I just haven't seen the end of the movie yet, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really does. And I don't want to come across as saying that Christians should not be a part of technology and the advancement of that.
Mhm.
I just think that we should think about the effect that this is having on people.
Yeah.
And is this a morally correct thing to do?
Yeah.
And does it actually lead to long-term fulfillment
Yeah.
and long-term peace among people?
Yeah.
Or is it just a short race where we're trying to get as much money and as much technology improvement as possible rather than actually using it to benefit humanity?
Right. Right. And thinking of the long-term effects and is this worth it? It's kind of like, short-term instant gratification in other areas. People watch porn, boom, it's the shortcut to get to the pleasure or the feeling that you want. But in the long term, it's destructive to everything in your life. And the same with this. Are we looking to honor God long term? Is AI going to be beneficial?
I heard a quote by Charles Stanley, and it said, "Sin is death by slow suicide." It's small choices that are all about instant gratification rather than the harder choices, which is to do what's right, that lead to long-term appreciation.
Yeah, absolutely. The consequences of sin are always delayed and always worse than you think.
Yeah.
This is where I also think that AI is particularly dangerous in the hands of kids because kids don't think long term. Their frontal cortex is not fully developed, especially in young men. That's their ability to process and to reason the consequences from their actions. And so you can rush in with some AI in your hand and get yourself into a complete mess because the normal boundaries and safeguards and guardrails have been removed.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This has been really cool, James. Super interesting. And I think a lot of people like me are trying to do the right thing for our families. I want to leave the world a better place. And above all else, I want to honor God. And so stuff like this really makes me think.
Yeah. I think it's just important that we stay informed on what's happening in society. God didn't call us to be separate from society, but a part of society and benefiting society.
Yeah.
To heavenize the earth.
Yeah.
So understanding what's happening, how it's going to be affecting people, and so we can take a stance and do what is right and take action is important. So
that's right. Absolutely. And we should, I think, step outside the box in terms of our thinking and say, wait a minute, instead of just, I hope that the people who run AI will get saved. Wait a minute. Why don't we be the people who run AI? We, as the family of faith. Why isn't it within our thinking that there are those within our community who are the best qualified and are absolutely competent to go in and direct AI? Somebody's going to. Why not us? If we don't have that thinking, we've lost the war. If we can shift our mind to think that the people of God are the head, not the tail. We're to lead the culture, not follow the culture or fear the culture. We need to stop complaining about AI and start creating the value system for AI. Somebody's value system is going to reign supreme and win the day. It ought to be the truth.
I agree.
In a day and age where relationships are now digital, men more than ever need real friendships. Marriages need to be based on what's true and what's good and what's beautiful. And kids need real dads who really understand what it means to live for God and to train them up in the way that they should go. You guys got to check out Red Truck Men. These are real guys. This is real relationship, fellowship over breakfast and around God's word. My son James and I were there recently, and we went to a location where they were having baptisms. Guys who had never gone to church had been coming to these Red Truck Men events and deciding that they wanted to believe the gospel and they wanted to become men of honor and create cultures of honor in their homes and in their communities. Check out redtruckmen.org to find a band of brothers for yourself or a friend. Join one of these breakfasts, start one of these breakfasts, support them because they are turning out the next generation of real men of honor. redtruckmen.org. Thanks for watching this episode of The Kirk Cameron Show. Hope you liked it. James?
Yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified when the next episode comes out. And leave us a question in the comment section below so that we can read that on a future Monday episode. Have a good day.